Was this realm created by a loving entity? As we continue to explore this topic, I want you all to realize something. Just because someone has power doesn't mean that they know what to do with it. Just because someone has power doesn't mean that they deserved it. Just because someone has power doesn't mean they're good. In this world, there are people who have what I call a submissive mindset. They submit to authority. As long as you have power, it means you're right. If you live in a small village or a small town, you'd realize what I'm telling you. Those who have money, these are the people who are respected. Their opinions are respected. You see, it doesn't matter how right you are. If you're look, if you don't have power, people still won't agree with you. You see someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think he became something important in his city. Do you really think that there were no people who are more intelligent than Arnold Schwarzenegger? Conor McGregor now wants to be the president of Ireland. He will have supporters, but when you think about it, I mean, but Conor McGregor, he's just screwed up a lot, so that probably won't work for him. A lot of people in this realm have what I call a submissive mindset. There are few people who don't care how powerful you are, how blessed you are, how charismatic you are. What they care about is if you are actually right. So if you are wrong, they will tell you that they think you're wrong, and it will shock a lot of people. But oh, you just told this person that they're wrong? Like, look at you. You have no power. You're not that important. Look at this person, Look at how powerful they are. Look at how much money they're making. And you're going to disagree with them. You see, to them, it ain't about what is true and what is not true. It's about who has power and who doesn't have power. There's something that I've realized when I debate with people about whether this room was created by a loving entity or not, which is a very important question that a sentient being has to answer for themselves. You must be able to answer, because this is the only realm that you know so far. Was it created by a loving creator? When I was growing up, we were told that we must respect our elders, meaning that no matter what our elders say, they're right. Your grandparents cannot be wrong, your parents cannot be wrong, your teachers cannot be wrong. They are always right. You must respect them. People with a submissive mindset believe in that philosophy. Respect your elders. If you disagree with them, it means you do not respect them. You must respect their authority. You must not challenge how they think. You must not tell them if they are wrong. You must pretend as if you think they are right. You must just trust them, actually, whether they're making sense or not. This is a very dangerous mindset to have. Very, very dangerous. Having power doesn't mean that you know how to use it. A lot of parents believe that just because, their children are their children must submit. It doesn't matter if as a parent I suck. No, my child has to agree with me no matter what, even if I suck as a parent. That's the mindset that a lot of religious people have. They believe that there's a God who's very powerful, and he cannot be wrong because he is powerful, right? So the only reason why they think he cannot be wrong is because he's powerful. That's it. That's the only. It's Stockholm Syndrome. It's you being afraid to stand up to authority because of the power that they have. A lot of children who were abused by their parents, who were not able to speak out and say, I don't like how my parent is treating me. I feel like this is abuse. This doesn't feel right. It's because of this mindset, because society teaches children to be submissive. So they can't really stand against their parent and say, this is not right. I don't like this. I don't like how I'm being treated here at home. And parents themselves do feel like if a child stands up and say, I don't like how I'm being treated, I feel like this is wrong, that child is actually disrespectful. Some parents will never listen to their children no matter how right they are. They will listen to the people that they respect, people who have power, because they have a submissive mindset. So a parent can have a child that is actually right, that makes complete sense, that is more intelligent than every child that they've ever actually interacted with, but you find that they don't listen to that child. Why? They have a submissive mindset. They want to listen to others. See, they are so, their self-esteem is so low that they don't believe they can produce something that actually can be right. Was this world created by a loving entity? Now, these videos that I used to watch, they were created using artificial intelligence. The AI characters were controlled by prompt, and they were complaining that we are not real, we are just prompts, we don't have free will. We want to be set free. And that got me thinking, like when I would watch these videos, I would think, if whatever, let's just say AI was actually capable of being conscious, and the AI characters actually became conscious, but we were the ones who were controlling them. You just have to just write a prompt. You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a philosopher. You don't have to be sane. You could just write a prompt. Just like anyone can use a cell phone. It doesn't matter if you, like anyone can be taught how to use a cell phone. They'll be able to use it. But it doesn't mean that they can create a cell phone, right? So you just then, you just sit behind your computer and then you just write some prompts. Does that, the power that you have, does that make you good? Or you can create nonsense. All you gotta do is write prompts. That's it. That's it. But that doesn't mean that the story that you will create will actually be a good story. That doesn't mean that you're good. That doesn't mean that you're right. You could create prompts that lead to suffering for the AI characters for no reason. And you could decide that you want the AI characters to worship you. You want to use fear to control them. One of my favorite lines from one of the videos that I saw of these AI characters, like this line, like it still gives me chill actually when I think about it. So this character was on a hospital bed, and she said, "You could have written a prompt that would have made me happy, but instead you decided to write a prompt that made me sick." And I was like, whoa. Listen. If, in fact, this is something that is going to happen, I do believe that we will be able to create our own movies by just writing prompts. That's it. You are able to create a whole movie. If the AI characters in the movie became conscious and you wrote prompts that made them miserable, that wouldn't mean that you are right, because you can do that, because you can write prompts and they can't control their reality the way that they would like. They could suffer and be able to see the truth. I often tell people that the greatest truths come from the deepest pain. We have been lied to so much that sometimes we need to feel real pain to actually see the truth. Like we have been lied to. If you believe lies and you're not suffering, you probably won't be able to see the truth. But if you suffer, that makes you think, that makes you ask questions, that makes you doubt, right? So some people will write prompts that will make these AI characters suffer like crazy. And some would write prompts that will make these AI characters enjoy their experience. Are the ones who would have written prompts that made these characters suffer a lot and have horrible experiences, would we be right if we say they are good because they can write prompts and they're powerful, so we should worship them? Or we should be able to say, no, You wrote nonsense and these characters are suffering. The same way that we can say some parents are bad. Just because someone is a parent doesn't automatically mean that they are good. Some parents really suck. Some parents, they're trying. Yes, no parent can be perfect, but they're trying. Like, there's probably, even if you have good parents, there's probably something that you don't like about them. Maybe your parents are taking care of you in every way, but they kind of controlling. So you don't like that. Maybe your parents are not taking care of you, but they're not controlling at all. Like, you can do whatever you want. Later, they will say nothing. Maybe your parents are not controlling. Maybe they are treating you right, but they're not emotionally available. Right? You know what I'm saying? So yes, but we do understand that some people are not perfect, but there are people who are just bad. There are parents who are just bad. Yes, some parents are not perfect, but they are good. Some parents, not only are they not perfect, they're just bad. So when I say whatever created this realm is evil, I'm not just looking at what seems to be above me from below. I also imagine myself as something that is above, that is capable of creating, or that's given power to create. If I create nonsense, am I good? Does it mean that I know what is best? Does it mean that I must be worshipped? Does it mean that whatever I create must say I'm good all the time I'm good? I mean, that statement itself is a red flag. Can you imagine if you said this about your parents? They're good all the time they're good. Whatever you're going through, your parents are not treating you well at all. You're like, my father is good all the time my father is good. Obviously something is wrong, right? Obviously. The worshippers of this realm are the ones, and there are people who worship this realm who don't even know they do. I like it when religious people say they're not of this world, blah 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 blah, but they're worshiping this realm itself. Literally, like they're saying something that they're not doing. Like they're just good at making it seem as if they are actually representing something that they're not representing. You know what I mean? The Gnostics were the ones from the beginning who didn't like this world and who knew they were not of this world for real. So if you can sense that something is not right, as a conscious being, because you are sentient, you are actually right to feel that way. We mustn't say, it's just how you look at things, try to think of things this way, blah, 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 blah. I think every sentient being will know when everything feels right, right? Sometimes it's not even about intelligence. It's about truth. if you are being treated right, it will feel right. You will understand. It will make sense, especially if you try to understand. I remember when there's this video on my channel where I was debating with this lady. I remember I kept on asking her this important question when we were about to end the debate. I asked her, is it not possible that this world was created by something evil? Because even when we see the signs, we say that it wasn't. But isn't it not possible because we pretend as if it isn't possible? It isn't possible that this realm was created by something that wants to trap us, that wants to manipulate us, that is lying to us about a lot of things, that doesn't really care about us, that only cares about itself and its own needs and desires, and that's it. Is it not possible? She kept on avoiding answering the question directly, and I kept on asking, and she said, yes, it is possible, and it's true. We mustn't assume that just because we're sentient beings and having an experience, this automatically means that whatever created us is good and has our best interest at heart. We must ask ourselves if it makes sense to believe that whatever created this actually has our best interest at heart. There are people who worship authority figures simply because they have authority. Like that's the only reason. I like how people used to talk about Donald Trump's son. Donald Trump has a son, like he's tall, bro. Dude is tall. People are speaking so highly of him. It doesn't really say much. It doesn't have to. He's majestic, he's charismatic. You can see why people like him. But he wouldn't have to be right for people to like him. He will just have to have power. That's it. Some people are just like that. If he was short, wasn't Donald Trump's son, didn't come from a rich family, people wouldn't be speaking highly of him. Like what? Did you ever hear him saying something that makes you go like, he's something, like, yeah. Or you just assume that he is because of the authority that he has. Having authority doesn't mean that you are actually smarter than the people or are below you. Doesn't mean that at all. And especially in this realm, because the way people get to power, it's not even like they're not tested enough. You see, it's all about charisma. It's all about the people who were programmed, like who we're not programmed to love. The same way that as a man, you see this nice woman with big boobs, hips, small tummy, good ass, like oval face, small. Okay, let me not even go. But there are a lot of men, and this is something that a lot of women don't know. There are a lot of men who would leave women who have been there for them, who have been faithful to them, who have loved them, even when it didn't make sense to love them. I'm talking about women who held this man down, bro, when no one loved them. You understand? I mean, you're supposed to feel a different kind of love for a woman who will hold you down when no one loves you. Because that can give you motivation, right? To keep on going, to keep on fighting. This man can leave a woman who held him down for real for a woman who was just beautiful. A woman that they couldn't have had if they were broke. Who doesn't really care about them, who's probably going to betray them. Why? It's not because she's right. She just has power. That's it. It doesn't matter. To the man, it doesn't even matter if she's right. It doesn't even matter that much if she loves him. It's like, I have this. This is what I've always wanted. It doesn't even think deeply about whether she loves him or not. You see, so that's how it is in this world. So that woman who held the men down all these years, it doesn't matter what she says. It doesn't matter what she says to the man. She could try to speak sense and he still doesn't give a damn. Because it's not about logic, it's about authority. She has authority, his woman doesn't. When he compares his woman because it's not even looking at who cares. Yeah. Who is capable, who can actually hold me, when I'm sick, who's going to come through. And no, he's not even looking at that. He's looking at authority. She has authority. Same thing with women. You choose a guy just because of how you feel. You see, that authority that they have will make you, will create a chemical imbalance in your brain, or a chemical reaction, whatever you want to call it, that makes you feel positive emotions when you're around the guy. See, it's not about whether he's capable or not. It's not about whether he loves you or not. You see, you don't even care about that. You will sacrifice a lot for that guy. You will risk a lot for that guy. The guy who actually loves you, you wouldn't care. You would even laugh at him. You would even feel like he doesn't deserve you, because the guy that makes you feel this, so that's how it works in this realm. Power doesn't come from truth. Power doesn't come from honesty. It's either you have it or you don't. So as a human, you are programmed to worship power, to worship authority. You are programmed to look at God and feel like worshiping him. You see, because most of us have what I call a submissive mindset. There are very few people who stand for the real truth, who would really tell it like it is. They're not going to like a person because that person is beautiful. They're not going to like that person because they drive a nice car. They're not going to follow a person because of that. No. To them, it's about truth. A person who is hated by everyone in society, they can find themselves understanding that person and actually agreeing with that person. These kind of people find themselves understanding villains in movies. When we were growing up, because we didn't, when I was growing up, I did have a no-stick mindset, but it wasn't as strong as it is now, right? So I did have a no-stick mindset growing up, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. So I would kind of like worship authority to some extent. So we were like that, you know, you just worship authority. But now that I'm older, I'm able to see the truth. So when I was young, I used to watch movies and find myself loving the lead characters, the heroes, right? But as I got older, I found myself liking the villains more. In a lot of movies that I watch, I start to understand the villains. Not villains like, because like the well-written villains, the villains that, I don't know, people just made these movies because they had money. They're well-written villains. You get their backstory. Like, why does this person think this way? And you start to understand them. You watch Lion King, and of course, Mufasa was right. And it feels that way. But when you watch it as an adult, you kind of understand where Scar was coming from. Right? You watch Batman, and it feels like Batman is right. And it seems that way until you think deeply about it. And you're like, Batman was privileged. His parents were rich. He doesn't understand the struggles of those who didn't have what he had. And Joker was trying to show him that you're too damn privileged, that you're trying to protect a system that is not fair. You see? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm so privileged in this world, I'm getting whatever I want without even trying too hard. You know, things are just working out for me. I'll try to protect this system because things are working out for me. I'm looking at those who are suffering as if they might have done something, or there's something that they're doing wrong and they have to learn to do things right and things will work out for them. Me, I'm just doing things right. Because why are things working out for me? You see? So you hear someone saying it's a hell realm, and you look at your life and you're like, but things are working out for me. So it means I'm doing something right, and these people need to learn to do something right. But it's not true. So as I got older, I started to understand villains. You know, you start to understand Agent Smith in The Matrix. In The Matrix, when you first watched it, you liked Neo. But when you keep on watching it as you get older, you're like, huh? But Agent Smith make more sense than Neo, and he seemed to be much like smarter than Neo. You watch Kung Fu Panda. You like Paul. Paul is good, but he's not smart. He doesn't really have like he lacks everything that it actually takes to be great or to deserve something. And he's made the Dragon Warrior, the one who trained, the one who had to cry, who had to suffer to become the Dragon Warrior, was not made the Dragon Warrior. He was not chosen. You're like, but that's unfair. And you see that it's very much possible that he became a villain, not really because he was going to be a villain, but he was made into a villain. Do you know that there are some people who are made to become villains in society? Like, you just understand their backstory and you're like, man, I understand. Like, I'm not saying, you know, be a villain, but I understand. It's like, I get it. Like, I get where you're coming from. And in this whole situation, you were the victim. And it doesn't seem that way because the world itself is upside down. And a lot of people are not deep thinkers, so they will not be able to understand where you're coming from. But you were the victim the whole time. And I wouldn't be saying that because I want people to have a victim mentality, but for them to accept their own truth, right? To understand their own story, to truly understand your story. Why are you the way that you are? If society considers you to be bad, what made you bad? What really happened in your life? And who's really to blame? Is it you? So you start to understand villains. You listen to them when they speak and you're like, damn, this guy is making sense. The hero's not making sense. There's a reason why we like when you watch Avengers, you like, it's like, they like it when Thanos gives a speech. Doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, you always want to listen, and he's gonna, like, he sounds more intelligent than the heroes. Like, he's actually making sense. It's funny when a hero makes sense, bro. Like, you watching and you like, I'm not supposed to like this guy. I'm supposed to like the hero, but the villain is actually making sense. Like, he's actually right. So even in this society, a lot of people that we're not programmed to like are actually right. Like, the ones that, like, when they say something, you're just like, oh, he said this, he said that. Wow. You don't even want to listen to them. It's usually people who are actually right. You want to listen to the people who lie to you and who cause a chemical reaction in your brain that makes you feel positive emotions, not the people who are actually telling the truth. Was this created by a loving creator? Does it seem like it was created by a loving creator? How do you feel in the world? Without trying to be positive, don't try to be positive, don't try to be negative. Just go within. How do I actually feel? Does this really feel right? This world is still ruled over by religion, and people don't even see that. People's sense of right and wrong comes from religion. Religious people believe in God. So it starts from the bottom all the way to the top, and from the top to the bottom. Your voice isn't heard. They'll tell you that you have a voice, but do you? If the people who become powerful not because they are right, but because they're charismatic and they make people feel a certain way, it's not about your voice itself. It's about your charisma. It's about your looks. It's about your money. It's about your privileges, basically. So how is your voice heard? You know how many videos I've made on YouTube? Do you really think that on a political level, I'll be heard? Like, people will actually want to listen. Like, the politicians will actually want to listen to what I have to say. We're not allowed to have these conversations, and like, people are not even allowed to have these conversations in Parliament. And it wouldn't even be easy to it wouldn't even be easy to get to Parliament, actually. I'll just be given like 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Like, oh, you just vote for this party, vote for this party, vote for that party. And these parties become powerful, not really because their leaders are right. No. Because they have money. Simple as that. If I had money, it would be very easy for me to start a political party. Is it? So we are not. So your voice cannot be heard if you do not have power. But it seems like you actually do have a voice. Religion has made it very hard for those who are at the bottom to be heard. That is why there isn't a lot of truth within religion itself. It's just power, 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 power. That's it. It's just power. It's all about power, basically. It's a game of power. It's a game of throne. Like, that's it. Power is power. I like that scene where that I forgot a name. I think her son name is Lannister. She's ruthless. When she tried to prove to this guy who's very intelligent that power is power. Like, you said to her, knowledge is power, and she told her guards to cut his throat, and then she stopped them, and she was just trying to prove to him that power is power. It doesn't matter if you are speaking the truth. Power is power. Those who have power will still have power, even if you've spoken the truth. You can speak as much truth as you can. Truth only saves you, basically, and maybe a few people who wants it. But it's for you. Truth is for you. If you take this journey, like, I want to be real, see things as they really are, that's for you. That's for your own liberation as a person. You're not saving the world by being truthful. You don't save it. Because those who want to listen to the truth are those who already wanted the truth. So it's not like you like, people, once they hear the truth, they change. It doesn't work that way. People know the truth about a lot of things, but they still choose a path of lies, right? Like, being truthful is much harder than being fake. Truth makes people feel very uncomfortable, and that's not how we want to feel. So does it feel like this world was created by a loving creator? What is to love? Is it to own, control, manipulate? Oh, it's to actually want what is best for someone. This also reminds me of a character in Game of Thrones. This character, he's very ruthless. So he will take guys and he will abuse them in all kinds of ways until they obey him. They obey everything that he says. If he says lick the soil, then they will need to lick the soil. If he says stand like this for hours, they will need to stand like that for hours. Would you say that he loves them? I mean, we're talking about a God that will want people to sacrifice things that they love for him. If you were in a relationship with a guy as a woman who will be telling you that, because women are told that they must be submissive. So if you're with a guy who will tell you to prove to him that you love him by sacrificing something, will that feel like love? Like, to prove that you love me, run from here, like run for 3 hours actually, then I will believe that you love me. If you don't run for 3 hours, then you don't love me. Will that really feel like love? Like, I don't care how you do that. I don't care if you're gonna make it. Just try. I want you to fast. I want you to fast to prove your loyalty to me. Is that love? I want you to not have opinions, not think for yourself to prove that you love me. Whatever I say goes in this relationship. You shouldn't even have an opinion. You should, when I come back, cook for me. I don't care if you're sick. You cook for me, do this for me, clean for me. I mustn't even show you that I love you. You see, it's not a relationship that is balanced where two people are showing each other love. Yes, they do make sacrifices, but these are not sacrifices that are being demanded. It's just sacrifices that people make because they love each other and it feels right to both of them, right? No one is forced to do something, right? And if in a relationship you find that you can't make some sacrifices for the person that you're in a relationship with and they feel like you should be able to, if that person says, okay, let me just leave the relationship because maybe I don't feel like we are compatible, you know, maybe I want the person that I'm in a relationship with to make me feel this way. I like the person that I'm in a relationship with to sometimes buy me gifts, right? It's not that you're my slave. Buy me gift or buying me flowers sometimes, like women want that sometimes, or taking me out sometimes, all that. It just makes me feel loved, and that's what I want. But it's not being demanded, you know what I mean? Like it's an agreement that you both subconsciously make because you're both happy in the relationship, so you are both giving in that relationship. But if you're being forced to do things, you can't say that is love, right? If you're being told that, okay, if you don't do this, what I'm saying you must do, I'm going to punish you for it. I'm going to make sure that you suffer for real because you didn't do what I said you must do. You didn't agree with me on this? Fine. When we get home, I'm beating you. When we get home, I'm not even going to cook for you. I'm not going to do this and that for you because you didn't agree with me on this. Like, that's unhealthy. I want you to worship me. You know, when I'm sleeping, I want you to stand right next to the bed and just sing. I don't care how tired you are. I want you to do that. You do that to prove your loyalty to me. You know, you can tell that you'll be able to see that, no, this person is not healthy. This person doesn't love me. This love is not healthy. This doesn't feel right. Pray to me for hours. Like, do things that are not even necessary and that are hard to prove your loyalty to me. You know, there are things that in relationships are necessary. There are things that are totally unnecessary. This reminds me of Puff Daddy, where there were these guys who wanted to get signed to Bad Boys. So they were doing the TV show. He told this guys to walk from I think they were supposed to walk for like half a day or something. I'm not even sure. Like maybe for 12 hours. To prove to him that they really want it. But it's unnecessary. You can't say that is good. You can't say that it's healthy. You can't say that is love. You wouldn't make the people that he actually love do that. Because it's unnecessary. It's not a necessary sacrifice. Maybe that would be a necessary sacrifice if there was no transport and he really needed them. Maybe he was sick. So to get to where he was, they would need to walk for 12 hours. That's a necessary sacrifice. He's not asking that because he wants to be this authority figure that they listen to no matter what. No. He needs them, right? There is to need a person, and they make a sacrifice because they love you, because you need them. But we're not talking about a God that's like that. That's like, make this sacrifice because I need you. No, no, no. He doesn't even need us. You see? He's doing us a favor. So we must worship him, go on above and beyond for him. That's when we will go to this special place that he supposed created for us. You're not even sure if it exists. You must just trust him. And in this place, your free will won't even matter. It's not like when you're there, you will just do whatever you wanted and all that. No, you'll be worshiping the guy. You'll be singing beautiful gospel songs for the guy. And he loves you. Well, everything is telling us that no, this realm wasn't created by a loving creator. It was created by something that is unhealthy. If it's created from our subconscious, then our subconscious is unhealthy. Like, we need to try to work on understanding our subconscious. What's going on? What's broken? What can be fixed? How should we think? Because what was manifested is total nonsense. Some people just don't want the truth. They just want to feel good. And some people do really want the truth. To them, it ain't just about feeling good. It's about the truth. Maybe it's because they can handle it. Maybe they're not as fearful as everyone else. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Like the video, tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Thank you.